And what's up everybody, and this is Danny with the HTC One Mini unboxing and first impressions. And this is the AT&T version, not the international version, for this was just released. So let's go ahead and unbox this thing and see what comes with a $99 2-year contract on AT&T in the US. The international version has been out for a while, but this AT&T version was just released. So let's go ahead and unbox this thing and see what comes with it. Alright, so let's go ahead and move this into position, and you see the startup guide right there. Let's go ahead and move that to the side. And there is the device right there, the HTC One Mini. Different than the HTC One original, which is wildly popular right now, one of the best Android phones of this year. But let me just say, texting and driving, it can definitely wait. Do not text while you drive. So let's go ahead and crack this thing open and see what else comes in the box. First thing you're greeted with here is the startup guide, just in case you need to know how to start it up. And it comes with the safety and regulatory guide and the warranty statement for warranty purposes. And it comes with dual HTC stickers. And it comes with a wall plug right here and a standard micro USB to USB plug for connectivity and charging. No headphones though, a little bit disappointed in that. But let's go ahead and jump right into the device. So HTC pulled a magic trick here, and they just slimmed down the original HTC One, and it's smaller in every single way. 4.3 inch screen versus the 4.7 inch screen, and the profile is just slimmer and smaller all the way around. The only thing you'll notice that though is that the chamfered edges are plastic this time, and there's more plastic around the bezel, but besides that, it looks exactly like the HTC One. Most importantly, what is retained here is the metal finish and the metal back, which is very nice, but there are some differences, so let's take a look. One of the big omissions is the IR blaster from the home button, so you no longer have that, but you do have the 3.5mm headphone jack. On the left side, all you will see is the micro SIM card slot, and on the bottom of the device, you will see the micro USB and the primary microphone. The volume switches have gone through a design change though, and they are separate this time instead of that one big metal bar, so a little bit of an aesthetic difference there. The One Mini does retain the 4 ultra pixel camera from the HTC One, but it has the flash in a different place, but it is missing the optical image stabilization of the HTC One. So I'll definitely do a test on that and let you know in the full review. But overall, for a mid-range device, it really keeps the high-end look of the HTC One, and I really like that a lot. And this is the developer version on the right-hand side, so you don't see the AT&T logo there, but really the design is very much the same. Alright, so enough talking, let's go ahead and boot this device up. And while we're booting it up, let's go ahead and talk about the specs, since this is a mid-range device. This is a 1.4 GHz Snapdragon S4 dual-core processor, and that is a Snapdragon 400 variant, and it has 1 GB of RAM and 16 GB of internal storage with no SD card slot, and 4.3 inch 720p display. I know 720p, but it does come with Gorilla Glass 3, so it should be very durable against scratches and things like that. It has a 1800 milliamp battery that is non-removable and has LTE connectivity for AT&T, and it does have Beats audio on board, so that should be good for audio, but it has no NFC, for they said they couldn't fit this in this small frame. But it does have boom sound stereo speakers, and if you've ever heard the boom sound speakers before, you know that it is phenomenal. It's hard to go back to any other device after that. So now that this thing is booted up, let's see how small this device really is. And this is a iPod Touch 5th generation, and I know it's not a phone, but it is a fairly thin device. But look at how thin the HTC One Mini is next to it, and they both have metal builds, so I thought this was a good little comparison here. But the HTC One Mini is very small. Look at how small the bezels are. The bezels are almost non-existent on the HTC One Mini. But look at how nice that finish is with that metal, and even though it's an Apple product, it's a good comparison. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring the HTC 8XT next to it, and this is another 4.3-inch device that is available on the Sprint network right now, and look at how skinny it is compared to that. Width-wise, it's just no comparison, and even thickness, it's thinner than the 8XT, and I do prefer the metal finish versus the plastic on the 8XT, and even though the 8XT feels really good with that matte polycarbonate back on it, I really do prefer the metal. It just feels better in the hand, but you can see how HTC can make a smaller device but with metal, so I like that a lot. So software wise, it really looks very similar to the HTC One. It has HTC Sense 5 with blink feed. Hate it or love it. Some people really like it. I like it. I think it's a great aggregator for social networks and news. And it has the app tray just like this, and has also a lot of AT&T bloatware, but you can get rid of a lot of that. But it does come with bloatware, unfortunately. But it has the same back button and the home button layout, and on first inspection, man, this screen is extremely good for a 720p display. This is a Super LCD 2 display, not the 3 that is on the HTC One, but the color replication looks really good on here, and it's very sharp since it's a smaller display, and the PPI is pretty good, in terms of the 4.3-inch display. So the smaller, the higher the definition really when it comes to PPI, but the viewing angles are incredible. Look at this. I mean, I'm not going to complain here. The first inspection of the display, very good, and the whites are really white, the colors are popping, and they look great on this, so don't really worry about the display. The display is high quality. So it's ironic or maybe funny that this HTC One Mini is running Android 4.2.2, which the One right now is stuck on 4.1 on the AT&T network, and also on the developer edition that I have. And the 2-finger swipe brings down extra notifications and extra things, which is great. But look at my One, can't do the 2-finger swipe, it's stuck on 4.1. But what's great is that the developer edition is jumping straight to 4.3, HTC said, but at the same time, for HTC users on AT&T, that's kind of a bummer. But the button layout is the same, double tap on the home button for multitasking, back, the HTC logo still does nothing, but it really feels snappy on here. And let's take a look at the camera real quick and see what camera stuff is lost or if it's exactly the same. So let's go ahead and open the camera app real quick and see if there's anything missing, but it looks the same so far. And it does have the 4 ultra pixel camera, which lets more light in for better low light photography. So I will definitely check out the photography on here and make a separate video. But there is the zoom in and out button, which is digital zoom. But tap to focus on here, and there is the separate camera and video button, which I really like about the HTC products. And there's also filters on here like Instagram style that can do different kind of filters, which is nice that it's live right on the screen. And looks like the shutter speed is just as fast on the HTC One, and you can go right there to the preview, and looks like there's also an edit function. And this camera app looks exactly the same. You have frames, different effects, and you can go to the transform section and get rotate, crop, flip, straighten. So a lot of these things look exactly the same. I do like some of the shortcuts they put in the short toggles here, and like sound profile, and you can actually take a screenshot too right from the notification screen. Like that. Good job HTC on that for differentiating itself from stock Android. So a lot of extra features here. So like the Android 4.2 update on this. So the boom sound speakers, the dual front-facing stereo speakers are present also on the Mini. So let's go ahead and listen to that and look at the display quality while I show you my Nokia Lumia 1020 review. Properties of other Nokia devices, it brings something new to the table as well, and that is the coveted 41 megapixel pure view Carl's Eye sensor. So sounds pretty good, and I will compare that to the HTC One later in the full review. So what do you guys think about the HTC One Mini? Let me know what you want to see in the full review. Thanks for watching the video, and also follow me on Twitter at SuperScientific. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and make sure you watch all my other videos for I have a lot more coverage And thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.